Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Tuesday edition of Video Clips, which is brought to you by Wellness Forum Health and the Wellness Forum Institute for Health Studies. So I'll start with a couple of announcements. First of all, my last virtual yoga class series for 2024 will start in a couple of weeks. So if you want to participate in that, this is the time to enroll. It works great. I mean, when I first did the first initial virtual class series, I was a little hesitant. I didn't know how well it would carry over to the virtual format, but Zoom works great for this, and it includes a private session where people get, individual corrections and that sort of thing. So anyway, if you want some information on that, send me an email at pampopper@msn.com. We have a couple more weeks of our annual Prevent Cancer campaign. Sign the pledge and tell others. It's a great way for them to get some gifts from Wellness Forum. And you get a gift from Wellness, a couple gifts also. I'm teaching a Prevent Cancer workshop. I'll offer it twice and record it. I'm going to cover some things like the organic versus non-organic food issue and how important is it to worry about things like plastics and makeup and that sort of thing. A lot of questions people have about the impact of various things on cancer. And then you get a gift card that you can use toward our conference or the next series of Winner's Circle classes or many different things. So if you haven't yet requested your pledge card, again, send me an email, pampopper@msn.com. I'll have my people get you a pledge card and the details, and you can participate. While we're talking about conference, just a couple things. I've been talking about a different speaker every week, and this week I'd like to mention Eileen Kopsaftis, who's a marvelous physical therapist. Her topic is interesting: incontinence, medications, procedures, surgeries, and better options. It's a topic a lot of people have been asking about. It happens to accompany aging, not necessarily that it should, but it does. And so that's the topic that she picked. We have a whole roster of great speakers. You can go to wellnessforumhealth.com and see the whole lineup. And then also, I almost forgot to mention my special report, Informed Decision Making for Cancer Patients. So if you want that, it's free. Send me an email. All right, so we'll start with the first news item is correspondence from a subscriber that I thought might be helpful to hear about. So a relatively new member to Wellness Forum wrote to tell me she loves our program. That's terrific, but she's struggling with her sweet tooth. That's common. She reports that for many years she's been eating a little bit of chocolate. And of course, the definition of a little bit is real fuzzy after lunch and then in the middle of the afternoon. And recently has tried to stop doing this because she wants to regain her health and knows that this, along with some other habits, has contributed to her weight and her health issues. But my member writes the cravings for chocolate are just so strong, and often she gives in and eats it anyway, in spite of knowing that this may not be a good idea. So the first thing in my response is I used to eat chocolate every day too. And it all started when I was a little kid, and my mother used to give my sister and I each 3 or 4 or 5 Hershey's Kisses every day for lunch after we had our lunch. It was dessert. And my grandmother was also kind of liberal with the treats when I spent a lot of time with her. So as an adult, I had a raging sweet tooth, which almost always became a problem right after lunch, in which I dealt with in various ways, depending upon my work situation. So vending machines always have chocolate, might not be such high quality, but it is chocolate. And a couple of times I worked in places where a small restaurant or deli or store was in walking distance, and I could just go get my fix there. And by the way, this and other bad habits that I had at the time caused me to balloon up to 50 pounds heavier than I am right now. So it wasn't working out so well from a health perspective. So how did I quit? Well, first of all, I didn't try to do that. Willpower doesn't work. Eventually, we all give in. And today, I'm going to be 68 next month, and I still crave something uber sweet after lunch. So I always have dates or figs or both available. They're real sweet, and they satisfy your sweet tooth. And I have one or the other every single day after lunch. And when I travel, I take them with me to stay out of trouble because it's just so easy to take the elevator down to the lobby of the hotel and get something out of the vending machine. Second, there is no chocolate or bad stuff in the house, which keeps me out of trouble most of the time, particularly since I do have the dates and figs. I mean, if that wasn't here, I might get itchy enough to go out and get something else. Third, on holidays and birthdays, I let myself have special treats like really good chocolate or a cinnamon scone or cake. My birthday's next month, and there will be cake and champagne or wine or something too. So I think when you try to purge these kinds of things from your diet permanently, that's where you make a lot of trouble for yourself too. There's a place for most things in the diet. So don't fight the sweet tooth. Figure out a way to deal with it healthfully and without using willpower and trying to talk yourself out of it and white knuckle it. My gosh, that's a god awful way to spend any part of your day, let alone right after lunch or whatever. Okay. Quick announcement. The next big special event, fluoride was last night. The next thing coming up is Common Causes and Conditions Part 1. It's a Friday night, Saturday all day program. I'm going to talk about hypertension, AFib, UTIs, headaches and migraines, reflux, restless leg, thyroid disorders, kidney stones, and a few other things. So there's a member, non-member price. And if you'd like information about that, send me an email. All right. I'm trying to talk about something related to cancer every week in honor of our Prevent Cancer campaign. So the story I'm going to share with you today is related to cancer, but it just illustrates everything that's wrong in healthcare today. A recent randomized clinical trial included 260 patients in a healthcare program for the homeless. The researchers note in their published article that homeless people die of lung cancer at over twice the rate of people in the general population. They falsely state that lung cancer screening reduces lung cancer mortality. It doesn't. Our data shows that clearly. All the data shows that clearly. And that's what makes what happened that I'm going to tell you about so egregious. Since lung cancer screening for lung cancer in the homeless population is challenging, the researchers decided to see if additional patient navigation services improved uptake of the screening in this population. 6 months after the subjects were randomized to usual care or greater assistance with navigation, 43.4% of the patient navigation group, 75 people, had completed lung cancer screening versus only 9.2%, or 8 of those in the usual care group. And the researchers somehow think that this is some type of something to be thankful for or recognized for. It's a good thing. Well, here's what I have to say about it. Since screening for lung cancer doesn't reduce the mortality rate, what a waste of time and money and resources. It's egregious in the general population, but in this population, it's so over the top. Vinay Prasad also noticed this debacle. He's one of the remaining voices of reason in medicine today, and he writes, and I agree, what do these people really need? Lung cancer screening? They have more pressing needs, like they need homes and food and a job and clean clothing and a haircut and toothpaste and deodorant. But the money's spent on lung cancer screening, which can't possibly benefit them in any possible way. Again, it doesn't reduce the risk of death from cancer or all-cause mortality. Dr. Prasad cites a trial showing that lung cancer screening is useless, even in a stable population, which would be much more motivated to do something about the screening results, etc. My commentary about this is a medical system that permits this trial is off the rails. The committee that approved this travesty is the first problem. It's an incredible misallocation of money. And then you have the researchers. I don't know what to say about them. If these people are indeed concerned about the health and welfare of the homeless, there are so many better ways to invest money and effort on their behalf. The journal that accepted this piece of crap for publication, tone deaf to how ludicrous the situation is, and probably so used to publishing garbage that this didn't seem so far off the mark, right? There's no fixing a system like this. I think our healthcare system is just like a home that has fallen into such disrepair that you can't fix it. So you just level it and build again. And that's why we have started our own healthcare system based on informed principles. And by the way, if you live in Ohio, we can offer you direct care, deprescribing, prescribing, ordering labs, whatever you need. So if you'd like to see our nurse practitioner, send me an email and I'll put you in touch with her so you can make an appointment. So there are so many things that are needed in this world of healthcare. Lung cancer screening for the homeless is just not one of them. And again, it just takes my breath away that people do this kind of thing and they're so disconnected from reality, they don't even see it. So there's no choice but to just build something else and then let what we have just finish crumbling. Just let it continue to fall down until it completely self implodes. And by then, we'll be over here doing something different. And if you want to be part of that, send me an email at pampopper@msn.com if you're interested in any of the stuff I talked about. All right, that's it for today. As usual, I'll pass this on to anybody who you think would enjoy watching it, and I will be back to you on Thursday with more news. Thanks for watching.